Welcome to Starflames TV, where we unpack the drama, the glam, the gossip that keeps the world talking. I'm your girl, Starflames, and today we're diving into the latest Kim Kardashian controversy. From Tom Brady's roast to the Met Gala, Kim can't seem to shake it off being called A-W-H-O-R-E, and she's making sure everyone knows it. It seems as though Kim wants to weigh on our weary hearts. She wants us to stop saying how she got her come up when that's literally how the girl got her come up by being a W-H-O-R-E. Now, whether you're Team Kim or just here for the tea, this is a story you won't want to miss. Let's get into it.
There are really no words that can adequately describe how positively disgusted I am by the story and what this signifies for in terms of the world that we are in today. What this really means, that a mother sat down and decided to sell her daughter's body for fame and money, and she was successful, right? But there are two things here that we need to remember. Not only did she do it, not only should we be completely disgusted by the idea that a mother, I just had a daughter, that a mother would sit down and watch various tapes of her daughter having sex with a boyfriend out of wedlock, and then say, let's sell this tape. This is the best one. You look the best in this tape. This will make you the most famous. Not only is that disgusting, but then that her plan worked. Kim Kardashian is a billionaire today, and she's, by the way, still selling sex. I now hold the opinion that Kim Kardashian is a prostitute, and I'm not going to edit this opinion. Kim Kardashian is a prostitute. Her mother is a pimp. Worse than a prostitute, Kim Kardashian is a corpse. She's a body without a soul. She is so emblematic of the society that we live in today, that if you are willing to degrade yourself, if you are willing to denigrate yourself, then our society, our American society, will give you more, right? How much are you willing to show us of your body? How much are you willing to give us of your daughter's body? That is the price of fame, and she did it. So no, it is not an exaggeration to say that Hollywood is satanic, because what could possibly be more satanic than that? What could possibly represent a more incestuous, if you will, relationship than a mother viewing her daughter's body, having sex, and selling it?
You know what? I feel as though Kris Jenner's soul, well, not her soul, but her body, it has been taken over by some kind of entity, because it takes a different level. It takes really and truly being on a different level to be a mother who would do something like that. And now Kim is crying about something that's factual and saying, oh my God, how innovative. Let's get into it some more, shall we? Because it all started at the Tom Brady's highly publicized Netflix roast. Roasts are known for their no-holds-barred humor, but one joke in particular seemed to hit a nerve. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe took the stage and called Kim Kardashian a W-H-O-R-E. The audience laughed, the cameras rolled, and Kim, well, she wasn't laughing.
I thought I was going to get up and give a toast and leave. That was the whole plan. And then I was like, well, I can't leave because then I'm going to look like a poor sport that I couldn't handle anything. And I'm like, when's it over? I have a flight.
But you know, there's also a narrative that you went to Netflix and asked them to remove all the booing.
No, I could care less. Let me live my life. It happened. I don't erase what happened. It was fun to be a part of it, and I did it, and I never have to do it again. I was like, I knew I was half robot. Other people realized it. No, he said it was like she was out of her body. And I go, what would you think from someone sitting there hearing horrible things about themselves? Like, am I supposed to sit there and be like, how innovative, you called me a whore, you know? Like, of course you're gonna freeze. You're gonna just freeze and be like, Tracy, how much longer? Like, you know, that's what I was doing. If I had gotten up to leave, they would have said, oh, Kim's mad. She's such a bad sport. When I'm like, no, I have a flight to catch because I have like the Met Ball and all this other stuff to do. But I will never, ever, ever do a roast again.
Now guys, to be very honest with you, Tony Hinchcliffe roast was extremely brutal. The things that he said about Kevin Hart, the things that he said about Tom Brady, I think that Kim got away too easily. But you know, as they say, naturally, the truth will always hurt. Let's take a look at some of the things that Tony Hinchcliffe said about other celebrities who were at this roast.
So many great quarterbacks up here. You know who doesn't pass? Kevin Hart on any movie he's offered. But we are here for Tom. Tom Brady is a patriot, which is surprising considering he looks like a Confederate fag.
The night got even more brutal, but as I said, the truth sometimes hurts, not just stings. Now, while roasts are meant to be taken in good fun, Kim clearly did not find the joke amusing. In fact, as you guys can see, she's been talking about it nonstop on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or as it has been rebranded as the Kardashian. Now, in her controversial, in her confessional, that is, interview, and even on her way home from the Met Gala. But the question is, why is this one comment sticking with her so much? Is it because it crossed a line, or is it because she knows better than anyone else that it is actually true? Now, on the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashian, Kim opened up about the roast during her confessional. She said, "I've been through a lot in my life, but being called that word in front of millions of people is humiliating. I'm a mother, a businesswoman, and I've worked so hard to build my brand. To reduce to that, it's not okay." No, that's what Kimmy Cakes had to say, but she also has to be honest with herself. She was introduced to us by a sex tape, also to Paris Hilton. So she needs to understand that no matter how hard she has worked to come from that, she is going to always take people back to that because of things that she has done even after the sex tape. For example, when her divorce was finalized from Ye, she was on international TV, not national TV, because as you guys know, the Kardashians, it is broadcasted worldwide. And she was coming out of a divorce from a man who put her on a pedestal, lifted her up, got her through doors that she never dreamt of getting through. Without Ye, that would not be possible. And after Ye worked and declared war against the industry, because remember, before Ye and Kim got married, all the industry would refer to Kim as Isabella Hore. And it even got so bad to the point where Ye had to be calling out his colleagues. Ye was cutting ties with his colleagues because, you know, left, right, and center, they're all saying they smashed Kim, and she has a tape. So Ye put in the work to create an image for her. But after her marriage ended, she was on international TV telling the world that she heard Pete Davidson has Big DE, and she was DTF. So every time we try to move on from her sex tape, she actually takes us back to that moment. And as such, every time she says something that's reminiscent of that, automatically people are going to remember your mom watched this tape. Your mom got you a glam squad to go film this tape. And as such, they're going to always throw that in her face. Now, this Kim's reaction, actually, it has sparked quite a few debates on Insta and TikTok as well. If you guys remember, on the initial stage of the comedy, some fans, they were siding with her. They were arguing that the joke was sexist and disrespectful. Some were pointing out that roasts are supposed to be edgy, and if you can't take the heat, maybe you shouldn't be in the kitchen. But guys, what do you think? Was the joke too far, or is Kim overreacting? No, Kim didn't stop there. As I've said, on her way home from the Met Gala, Yes, the Met, she brought it up the roast again, so you know it's getting to her. And in a candid moment captured by her team, she vented to her friend saying, I just don't understand why people think it is okay to talk about me like that. I'm more than just a punchline. That's what she said. Now, this moment is particularly interesting because it shows just how deeply the comment affected her. The Met Gala is one of the most glamorous nights of the year, and yet Kim couldn't fully enjoy it because she was still thinking about the roast. It's a reminder that even the biggest stars have feelings, and sometimes those feelings, they get hurt, honey. So, what does this say about Kim Kardashian and the culture of celebrity roast? Well, on one hand, Kim has built her career on being in the spotlight, and part of that means dealing with criticism and jokes. On the other hand, there's a fine line between humor and disrespect, and it's clear that Kim feels that line was crossed. This also raises questions about the role of women in comedy and entertainment. Why is it that female celebrities are often the target of jokes that reduce them to stereotypes? And why do we expect them to just take it with a smile? These are important conversations to have, and Kim's reaction is bringing them to the forefront. But guys, I want to know, what's your take on this whole situation? Do you think Kim Kardashian is right to be offended, or should she have brushed off the joke? And where do you think the line should be drawn when it comes to comedy and respect? Let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in to Star Flames TV. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep questioning the narrative. Peace.